Welcome, kind listeners, to Under the Banyan Tree.
The live show where ancient epics meet modern minds.
I am Leo, a yogini from the West.
And I am Mayank, a rationalist from the East.
Together, we journey through the Mahabharata from the retelling of Ramesh Menon, epic of war, faith, and everything in between. Today, we are reading Chapter 10, The Solemn Oath, and Chapter 11, Satyavati's other son, from the Sankalpa of reading it from the point of view of responsibility. Mayank, what's your definition of responsibility?
Well, I just made a note saying, for me, I couldn't get the appropriate word, so I wrote, it's like a promise or word which I made to others or to myself that I want to accomplish something. I want to do something.
Interesting. So, okay, interesting. I have a more complicated perception of responsibility.
Go ahead.
Before I go into that, I went to see the etymology of the word, and responsibility comes from Latin, and respondere, that means to respond. So to have the ability to respond. That actually goes in line with the concept of Sadhguru, that is to have the ability to respond to something. So for me, responsibility, it's been always something related to a duty. But there's two types of responsibility. So there's this responsibility of an authority, that you are, that the responsibility was bestowed on you due to your position. So you are responsible to answer for that. And the responsibility of someone that is committed to do something. So I'm responsible because I'm authority, so I have the duty to make certain particular things to be done. And I am responsible to do the things.
Okay.
And so for me, responsibility is, in a way, something that gives you power, but you need to own and honor that power.
Okay, so essentially we are trying to look into these two chapters through this theme where either someone has been assigned a responsibility by some authority or they have bestowed, say, themselves with that duty or something.
If they are responsible themselves, and for me to be responsible, for me to feel that I'm a responsible person, is that I respond to everything that is in front of me.
Okay.
And I take it as a power, not as a burden. So many times, and nowadays, we use responsibility as a heavy term, like, oh, I have too many responsibilities on my shoulders. Oh, I have this extra responsibility. And it always have a heavy underlying vibe. And I try to shift that and look at the responsibility as, okay, I have power in this. I have the responsibility to answer to this. So I have some possibility to decide, or I can influence the way this goes.
Okay.
Anything? Do you want to add anything?
I'm just thinking about the second definition, because I personally believe that you always respond. Even if you don't do anything, you have responded.
Yeah, but many times if I don't respond, I'm taking away my responsibility. And we have many examples in our Mahabharata and in the chapters that we read, where people didn't answer or people didn't react or act in the situation, and therefore they lost the power over their own destiny.
Okay.
And I agree with you, a non-action is an action itself, but when I do not act, and yes, there's moments in our lives that the best action is to slow down, to stop. But there's other situations where if you do not say anything about it, you are delegating the power over your life to someone else.
Okay.
And we have that like with, what's her name? Amba.
Amba.
And we have that with Satyavati. Maybe if Satyavati spoke with her father, maybe her father didn't make such stupid claims to Bhishma. If Amba had talked and not feeling intimidated by Bhishma, maybe things went in another way. And we have over and over again moments where people do not take responsibility, and it comes, oh, I'm helpless, because they don't assume their responsibility. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's move on. Because or else we will go in a totally different tangent, and we would like to stick to these two chapters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can always add in the comments, maybe someone will comment.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, so moving on, we are going now to move to our summary.
Yeah.
Where Mayank will kindly do a summary over the 2 chapters. Ready?
Yep, I am. So this is the Shravan, the summary for the chapter. Vichitraveer, the king of Hastinapur, who is also a great poet and musician, is having a wonderful time with his queens, Ambika and Ambalika, and Bhishma is taking care of the administration. However, Vichitraveer dies and leaves Satyavati, Bhishma, Ambika, Ambalika all sad and depressed. After a month of mourning, Satyavati calls for Bhishma and asks her to give up on his oath, have kids with Ambika and Ambalika, and give heir to Hastinapur. Bhishma gets a flashback of his mother, his gurus, his time with his father, his oath, and his love for Amba, and tells Satyavati in a grave tone that his oath is his truth and he will never give up on his oath. Satyavati still keeps on trying to get him on board. However, Bhishma gets to know about the ancient custom of Niyog, that if a royal line is in danger of becoming extinct, ancient custom allows that a Brahman may be called to father sons of the women of threatened house. Satyavati initially felt very disappointed about this idea, but later thought of her son Vyasa from Rishi Parashar. She calls Bhishma and shares the whole flashback with Parashar. This is a call out to refer episode 1, The Birth of a Poet. We have covered it in detail. Bhishma listens her patiently and says Vyasa should be invited as he is your son, Satyavati's son, and a great sage, provided Ambika and Ambalika are okay. Vyasa appears when Satyavati calls for her and
calls for him,
and after his penance he was looking ferocious. Satyavati shares the whole story with Vyasa and sets it as an expectation from Vyasa to get heirs for Kuru kingdom. Vyasa tells her that if Ambika and Ambalika are okay with this, as they are young, he can do this for his mother. Satyavati goes to Ambika and explains her and explained her mission to her. She didn't ask her, but told her that this is for the future of Kuru house. In a way, Ambika has no option to say no, leaving Ambika behind to cry and sob for her dead husband. So, yeah, this is it.
Thank you. It was a great summary. Thank you so much. I will not add anything to it. Maybe some details will come up through our conversation. I think it was a great summary. So what we've decided to do is to take a look at each character and try to explore the theme of responsibility. If their actions were responsible or irresponsible, and go through this analysis together. So shall we start with Vichitra Virya?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what's your opinion? Was he a responsible king?
I would not say as a king he was responsible, but I felt like as a person he did what he was supposed to do. Have good time with his.
I completely disagree. He was a king and he delegated all his powers to his half brother.
But as a king, isn't it your responsibility to delegate the job to appropriate people? He gave administration to Bhishma, and Bhishma was capable enough administrator.
Yeah, and that's the caveat in all the story. And that's what leads me to think that Bhishma wasn't responsible too. Because he said, I don't want this. I give up of this. But he's doing it instead of mentoring or making Vichitra Vidya do it. Okay? And I completely understand what you are saying. But my perception was he took a shortcut. It's like, and it's like, he's better than me on this. I'm the king, but he can do it. So he does it while I enjoy my life. And if something, okay, we know that he has an oath where he only die when he wants. But I even don't know if Vichitra Virya knew that. And something happens to Bhishma and he dies. And after.
Yeah, that's
so. I don't think it was responsible from Vichitra Virya or Bhishma to keep him doing the administration of the kingdom and not having anyone being educated, being mentored for that position. And okay, I know that he doesn't naturally have the skill set for it because he's more of a Gandharva. And I found this interesting because his brother was killed by a Gandharva. But even though he is the king, he needs to assume a certain level of responsibilities. And he was simply enjoying the threesome, and that's it. Sorry.
And that's why I am Team Vichitra Virya. The guy died, but had fun in his life. You only live once. So I'm Team Vichitra Virya.
Okay, but I don't think he was responsible.
Like what?
I don't think he was.
His life would be so waste if he was acting like a king and then died.
You don't know.
At least he had some fun before dying.
He would fill in his duty as a king.
No one cares about duty. Everyone cares about fun.
We are discussing responsibility.
It was his responsibility to enjoy and have some fun in his life.
But one thing does not invalidate the other.
Yeah. But I think if you have a very short life to live,
but he didn't know.
You should live it to the full extent. And Vichitra Virya did so.
But he didn't know that he was going to die.
Yeah, he didn't know that. But
so that's not an argument over here for him to look away from his responsibilities as a king.
Yeah, I'm okay.
And in a way, we see this later.
In how?
Not because of women, but Dhritarashtra. everything that he was done was to avoid responsibility.
Yeah, that's okay. Like that, I get it. But considering that Vichitravirya was about to die, I am team Vichitravirya that he had fun before dying.
I don't take that away, but he didn't know. One thing, it's I'm dying of cancer. Okay, I will enjoy the last month of my life. Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. But he didn't know he was about to die. So I stand by my evaluation that I consider that he was not a responsible king.
Okay. Fair assessment. Not a responsible king, a very responsible husband for sure. Gave his wives whatever time he had, little time, he gave it all.
He didn't know that he had little time,
But
okay?
he was a good husband, a bad king, a good husband.
I didn't hear anything from Ambika and Ambalika, but okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Next, yeah. Who's next?
Next I have over here is Bhishma.
Yeah, so for Bhishma, I made notes here and there. Like one, he took the responsibility of administrating the kingdom, but as you are saying, it was irresponsible of him to do so. But say if in case he was assigned that responsibility, we don't know what was the conversation between Vichitravirya and Bhishma. But
You know, all that situation made me think about something that I believe we'll learn later or somewhere in the Mahabharata, or more specifically in the Bhagavad Gita, that says it's better to fail in our own duty than to succeed in the duty of other.
yeah,
And I think Bhishma was doing that. He was succeeding in the duty of other.
yeah, in other person's dharma than his own dharma. Yeah, that's also a very good assessment actually. You notice something nice. Because I just took it as that okay, he was responsible for the kingdom and
I think
he should.
because I didn't grow up in the culture,
Yeah.
I don't look at Bhishma as the great hero. I still don't look at him as a great hero.
Makes sense.
I think he's made many mistakes since the beginning.
So are heroes not allowed to make mistakes?
They are allowed to make mistakes, but I don't know. I even don't know if I look at him as a hero.
Okay.
Okay, he is almighty and all powerful, but is he? I don't think so. But anyway, let's move on.
But I made a note for Bhishma when he says, when Vichitravirya dies, he says, but for the sake of kingdom, I must be calm and that pain will also pass. So this, again, I just made it a note that he's showing responsibility towards the kingdom again.
And I think he was very wise. Many times we do not, when we are in despair, we forget that it has an end, that it's just a moment. And I found it very wise. And it's not that I don't like Bhishma, okay? And I don't see value.
No, that we know that you don't like Bhishma. Go on.
I see value in him, and he is great in many, many places. It's not that, it's just rarely we question his decisions. And maybe because I'm an outsider, I question more.
No, it makes sense. But I always feel that that's the thing. People expect more good from good people.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And less sanity from bad people. So...
yeah, and if everyone puts him in a pedestal, I look at him as someone that deserves to be in the pedestal. Okay.
And then he was also quite responsible towards his oath.
Yeah, I have another point of view.
Go ahead.
At some stage I wrote, oh, Bhishma does not like changes. And he says, the oath is my truth. So the oath is who he is. And I think all that flashback that we see described is him pondering.
Hmm?
And for him was like, I've done this for you. And there's some underlying resentment that I don't know why I read a resentment. And he simply will not know who he is without the oath.
Well, his oath for sure defines him.
Mm-hmm.
The oath gave him a new name. So there's no doubt that his oath is very, very important to him. So,
And let me pause over here and go a little bit in a tangent.
mhm.
But which lesson this extreme attachment to a oath is conveying?
I think the only lesson it is conveying is that your words,
Matter?
your words matter.
Okay.
And I also probably it is kind of giving you an anti lesson that don't make an oath, because the oaths they bound.
They bound you.
Yeah, they bind you, and you cannot live freely then, especially if you honor your words a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and all that flashback actually to me, as you said in our previous sessions, that it makes Bhishma look more human
Mm-hmm.
and less celestial or demigod.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually liked that flashback, that yeah, it's not that he's as you said, almighty, all powerful, unemotional. He feels things. He feels that, oh, I had to do all these things, and I had to sacrifice the promises or ambitions of my mother, my father, my gurus, my love, and I am doing this. And now, because I am bound by my oath, that's what I'm supposed to do. And
Okay.
that's how I perceived it.
So within these two chapters, do you consider Bhishma being responsible or irresponsible?
I
Character.
actually liked, see, the ask from Satyavati was an unreasonable ask. This is how I perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
And he can give any reasons. Like, I'm saying, say, even if he didn't have any oath, this kind of ask is unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
That you marry your brother's wives because he's gone now.
Question.
Hmm.
Is it okay, especially in those times, for a widow to get married again?
Love, they are royals. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but let's look at the culture.
Like, I would not say that widow remarriage is a very common thing still in India. But that's the thing. Like, say, if they are thinking of all sorts of hacks to
Mm-hmm.
take the lineage ahead, this was probably the most straightforward way in front of them.
Okay.
And I would say, like, say, even if Bhishma had no oath,
Mm-hmm.
he has all the right to say no,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not something which his soul is agreeing to. He's not in love with those two women. And, like, I think I think I would have liked Bhishma to be selfish much earlier in his life than. And I would not even call it selfish. Like, I call it self-interest. That as an individual, you should have a right to say what you want to do with your life.
I think it's integrity.
Yeah.
It's not selfishness.
No, it's not selfishness.
But he
I
has
think
the right of integrity. But Ambika and Ambalika, they don't have
they
the
don't
right
have.
of integrity.
No, they don't have. So, but at least he showed that no, I don't agree with this. I'm not going to marry you. Find some other solution.
Yeah.
So I think in those ways I found him responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, And yeah, as you said, probably like not making Vichitravirya someone who would like to rule or something was irresponsible of him. That can be a thing. We just don't know. Probably it was a honeymoon phase. It was for a month or
years.
something.
No, it was years.
It was years?
It was years. 1 month was the time that were grieving.
Yeah, that I didn't.
It was years.
Okay. Probably those time honeymoon period was for
Uh-huh.
good times, good old times for men. Bring those good old times back, please. Yeah. So yeah, like, but overall, I found him responsible, uh, responsible to his oath, responsible to his kingdom, uh, and responsible to, as you said, I feel integrity or human values. That you don't do things which you don't want to. No one should be able to dictate you that, oh, you should do this. Because
Okay.
it's good for the nation or good for the people or good for the society.
So, yeah, I think what you said, I take it with a pinch of salt, because I think it always it's dependent of the circumstance. I think sometimes it is right to do some sacrifice or do something for the greater good.
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I like a society where people can do whatever they want. They are not made to do something by an authority or by some other system.
And I think this I completely understand what you're saying.
Yep.
And I grew up in a society of freedom where I was not imposed in many things, while you grew up in a society probably with loads of impositions.
Yeah.
And that's why we differ on this subject.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to Satyavati.
Satyavati, I felt I made. What were the notes? I made. Yeah, one small instance which I saw when she was all sad for 1 month, and then later she took a bath, she ate something, she dressed herself well. I noted that instance as an act of responsibility towards yourself, towards your well-being. So that was one instance. Second, I made a note that I don't know if she meant it or she just wanted to say it, or she was protecting herself, but she held her father responsible for the current state of things in Hastinapur. That his father, because of his selfish interest, asked for the kingdom and this and that. So that was one place. And I also thought, okay, this was very dicey, but she said that Bhishma, you have a responsibility towards the people of Hastinapur, that they should have an heir.
And people in Singapore they were wondering why Bhishma didn't appoint it or didn't solve the hair situation.
Yeah.
But I see responsibility in her actions. So she took on her the responsibility of finding or a solution to have a hair.
Yeah.
So she impersonated and she took the responsibility of a queen. And I think that's very valuable.
Yeah.
Because she is the grandmother.
Yeah.
By now. Bhishma is ruling. He was the one more or less inherited the responsibility of finding a hair.
She's grandmother? How?
No, in the sense that she's not young anymore.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
She's grandmother's age. That's very less.
Because we see that Bhishma is already showing signs of being very wrinkled, although strong. So she's not young for sure, and she took ownership.
Yeah.
She made it her responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot of courage, especially in those times, being a woman. It would be very easy to play the card of poor me and stay sobbing, and that's it.
Yeah. She took the ownership and
She took the responsibility.
also responsibility to do things which are not very pleasant.
Yep.
Those things were not straightforward, like, so asking difficult things from people, sounding, very bad for making such demands to your son or to your daughter-in-laws. But she did that.
And mostly, like, she told the secret that made her feel ashamed. And this takes a lot.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know why she did it. She didn't have to say it to appoint Vyas. Bhishma said, you choose one Brahma, and that's it.
Yeah, like, but I just thought that probably she did the right thing, because or else Bhishma would have wondered how Vyas agreed to do this favor to them. So I think she did the right thing by telling everything to Bhishma. Probably she was also guilty about the whole situation with Bhishma, that she feels, as she said, that gods are punishing us for doing this injustice to you. So maybe she also felt like just sharing this with Bhishma will make her less guilty about the
will
whole
feel
situation.
her heart less heavy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it was very brave of her.
Yeah, true.
Okay, let's move on to Vyas.
Can I just mention one instance where I found Satyavati to be very irresponsible, because you may have also found the same.
Go ahead.
When she asks Ambika.
I thought a lot about that, or a lot, So my initial reaction was, oh God, she talked about this in a very light way. She didn't give her time to grieve.
Yep.
She didn't give her time for anything. And Bhishma says, if they agree. Vyasa says, if they are ready.
Yep.
And she stormed through it, and only at the end of the conversation she said, "Oh, he looks a little bit fierce." Oh, by the way, in a very light way. What I think it's very dismissive. So on the light way and dismissive of his looks and probably his smell, she had relations with Brahma, Rishi, before. And probably she enjoyed it. So she didn't find it that bad, She judged Ambika and Ambalika for her own experience, because she had a one night stand with Rishi.
Yeah.
And maybe if she have shared that experience with them, with Ambika and Ambalika, would help.
Yeah, and I
think she was ruthless.
I also felt she could have taken time. Like, it's only a month, or like couple of months. You could easily take 1 year or something, or like give those poor women some time to settle
grieve.
down, to grieve. Yeah. And then probably you can bring them on board with whatever your idea is, even though the idea is not very morally appealing in this modern era.
I agree with you. And I was reading, and she was storming through things and doing everything very quickly and not reflecting. And this made me think about us and work, and how so many times someone is in the middle management position and you are being pressured to deliver things, and you storm through things and you pressure the team, and you don't think, you just need to get the work done.
Yeah.
And Satyavati made me think about those situations.
So Satyavati was a good manager for the corporate.
Or not.
She made boatloads of money for the company, but she was seen as a terrible person by her team. Makes sense. Yeah, why not? But yeah, like at least, and as I said, like sometimes being a leader can be doing ugly things.
Yeah.
And she was doing those ugly things. But I just felt she could have done it better.
I completely agree with you, 100%.
Yeah. And yeah, your example was right. Like probably she could have shared her own experience that, look, girls, it's not that bad. And he's a once in a lifetime rishi. Having sons with him would be something great in your life and for this kingdom. So she could have brought them on board
I think
in a much more, linear, slow pace instead of, okay, tonight is gonna be a big night or something like that.
Look, I tried to imagine myself in
Don't imagine yourself. Don't do that. Why would you do? You don't put yourself to fictional characters' positions.
No, I do.
Okay, do it.
Like if my mother-in-law came to me after 1 month asking me to have sex with some
Brahman.
Brahman.
Yeah. You would be plotting a murder then of your mother-in-law.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, those times were different.
Not plotting a murder, but but probably I would run away. I don't know. But it's very, it brings agony. The emotion that comes to me, it's agony, it's despair, is and I think Ambika took it. It was Ambika. Yeah, it was Ambika. It was very gracious.
I don't think she took it graciously. She didn't have any option. At least she believes that way. Like she couldn't think of running away option at all. Because
well, she could go and meet her sister.
Yeah, but like, say if you don't get the exposure, sometimes you can't even think about possibilities in life.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, like there I found Satyavati to be irresponsible, but like she was a mixed bag in this.
I think she was reckless.
Yeah, she was reckless. True.
Okay, and let's move on to Ambika.
Ambika. I don't think I think she couldn't respond. I don't think she could show anything, responsibility or irresponsibility. Like she just froze. That's what I feel.
There's a part that's something said like, I take it because it's my dharma. And that, I think that acceptance or that conformism, it's the only way of going through it. Especially, within the circumstances where she was told and she didn't have the time to grieve the death of her husband. And she's in that circumstance, she didn't have any other option. within, that circumstance.
So do you think she responded to the situation or she took any responsibility?
She didn't know how to be responsible
Mm-hmm.
because she didn't know that she could respond in a different way.
Yeah, so like that's why I said for me she just froze. Like, and that's why I
She'd
like,
done what was expected of a woman to do in those times.
yeah.
And when you say she froze, I always think about the fight or flight mode. And I don't think it was even that.
Yeah.
It was like she's grieving, she's beaten up.
Mm.
It's like I'm already down. It's just something else. It's just a new thing,
And to be honest, that's why I had some more respect for Bhishma in this chapter. That he said no. Because it's very easy to say that, oh, my mother or the queen is asking me to do something and I'm supposed to follow. But he did a completely non-Indian thing there. And he said, nope,
But he've done it because of the oath.
whatever. Like I would say everyone should have an oath that I'm not going to do anything which my soul doesn't agree to and someone else wants to make.
That I agree 100%.
So probably, yes, I know it's a very big ask to ask it from Ambika. Probably it would be nicer if she would have said, nope, I don't want to do this.
And she saw what happened to Amber.
Yeah. She's like, I don't want to live this way.
So,
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So I think we are finished with
Vyas.
all. Oh, Vyas. Yeah. We skipped Vyas. I asked you, but we skipped.
I just feel like his mother asked him something and he said, okay, I will do it for you.
Yeah. But I think it was very responsible of him saying, they are very young.
And
Look at me.
and
Please warn them.
and also
Are they okay with this?
also I felt the Bhishma and Vyas both, the males were saying, ask if the women agree to.
Yeah.
And the other woman, Satyavati, was like, okay,
Let's move. Let's.
time to get ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like then that thing came to my mind that a woman is a woman's worst enemy. That's what we say in India. Because I feel I can probably like think of this like you said. Satyavati felt, oh, I had an experience and it was not that bad. So why are you making a fuss about it? But for men, probably in that circumstance, they were like, no, at least ask them what they want to do. But I sometimes feel if you have done a lot of sacrifices or like think of this, like say my grandmother, she worked, but she also did say a lot of housework. So she may not feel that sympathetic to my sister. Saying, oh, we also managed a house, we also managed 6 kids, we also managed work. So why you need house help? So that's what I feel like. Say, if you have gone through hardships, then
You are much harsh on other people.
yeah. So that's what I perceive. But
That's a loss of compassion.
yeah, so it's one should not go through a lot of hardships.
I don't agree to disagree. I don't think I had a very easy life, and that didn't take away my capacity of having compassion towards others.
No, I've seen you teaching yoga.
And
you have no compassion to your students.
Why?
You're like, I am twisting my body in 270 degrees. You have to do at least 260. No, I'm kidding. I'm just pulling your leg. Yeah, but she gets offended if she sees that you are not putting effort, which is reasonable.
I don't get offended. I don't take it personal.
Yeah,
But don't expect results if you don't put any effort.
yeah, that's also true.
Okay. So, yes. Yeah, I think
You
I-
like Vyas.
I think he was responsible. I liked his kind of humor, saying, "Oh, I believe that it's not only for your motherly love that you call me."
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that humor of him. And I agree with what you said, and I don't have anything else to add. So, saying that, shall we move on to the lessons that is named
Shiksha.
Shiksha? So, any lessons, any teaching?
My lesson is you do you. Whatever you want to do, you do that in your life. No one else should dictate your life. That's what I learned from these two chapters.
Oh, yes, I agree. Lessons. It made me think about a lot about responsibility and taking over responsibilities. And for me, it's more about taking responsibilities lightly and to not be single pointed and single minded on your responsibilities. And I've been working too much. I've been doing extra hours. I'm taking ownership of something. And sometimes it's better to step back. Otherwise, I will become like Satyavati and rush through things and make wrong decisions and hurting people on the way.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, don't work extra hours. That was a very good lesson.
I love the way he twists what I'm saying.
No, this is what she said. That's what she said. Okay, now what? Next, what's the next thing? Okay, we need to talk about Naman.
Yes, Naman.
You want to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead. Bring in the poor women. Yeah. Go.
Can you guess who I'm going to Naman?
Ambika.
No.
Satyavati.
Yes.
Makes sense. No, so this, at least she was not a poor woman. She was a woman who made decisions.
Yeah, and it's not only that. She changed, and that's something that we don't see much in this book, and even in life. People having the capacity of changing their values, changing their point of views, and she changed. And regardless of having all the actions correct, or she made mistakes, yes, but in another way, she took the responsibility of a kingdom and the lineage of the Kurus, and she's not even a Kuru, to herself. And I think this is very brave.
Makes sense. She deserves.
So my Naman goes to her and everyone that has the capacity of changing, of making mistakes, of assuming their mistakes in life and sharing their pitfalls.
My Naman is for Bhishma because he did what I value. He made a choice and he didn't budge under pressure. There was a lot of pressure on him from Satyavati, from the people in the court, from the people of Hastinapur. But he was like, nope, I have made my decision in my life. I want to stick to that decision. Doesn't matter what the society dictates.
Yeah.
And I really like that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bhishma for his individualism.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are wrapping up now. In the next episode, next week, we are going over 3 chapters: the blind knight and the pale one, in the dark, and the 3 princes of Hastinapur. Our Sankalpa, not Samskara. Our Sankalpa is innocence. So we hope to see you next week. And
Meanwhile, like, share, and subscribe us.
thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.